Hey guys, just got done finishing up the Oracle bow sight. Really easy to set up. Basically, it comes down to three things, and I'll read right off the quick setup guide. Let me pull some of the stuff out of here. So obviously, it comes with the sight. Just install it, run the cord down, put this Velcro here, so you have the button readily accessible. That was simple. The rest of it. Some of the most important pieces are this torque tool, and I'll show you that in a minute. Laser. Okay, so there's an optional rear sight, which fits right here. I decided not to go with that. You know, interfered a little bit with my my mount for my quiver. You don't need it really if you have a peep sight. It does help. It always keeps it in line, so if something was to happen to your peep, it still works. But I decided to not go with that, and it put together really fine. Your stationary pin here, and you want to sight that in at 20 yards. All you gotta do, it's pretty simple. All you gotta do is move these levers, move these dials until you're in 20. No big deal. Once you're into 20, I'm gonna take this spot right out here, insert the laser, and turn it on. And then what you will do is take this laser, and if you're right-handed like me, once the laser's on, put this on your target wherever you're aiming, and if you're right-handed like me, you want the laser to end up here when you're at full draw. So it does kind of take a couple times. You know, you have to. This is where the torque tool comes in line. Take this torque tool, loosen up these two bolts here. Now we'll do it up close. Loosen up these two bolts, and then you gradually move up, down, and left, right here on the bow. So on the sight. It took me about 5 minutes to do that, to be quite honest. And once you feel you're good, lock it back up, torque it like you would anything else, and then you're good to go. That's really the hardest part. And then the next thing you do is you want to find a spot. You got two things left to do. You got to find a spot probably about 35 yards, and then wherever you think your longest shot's going to be. So if your longest shot's say 70, I don't have much room here. We're up north on the lake, trying to be safe, so I did about 50 yards and I did 35 yards, and we got it all set up. But what you do is, and we'll go up close to this too, just take these buttons back here. You're gonna click your bow on, click the sight on, you go to mode, and then it'll turn to AS1. Mine's already set, and once you see AS1, you come over and you click the S button, and it'll say SR1, and then you'll have SR2. Good range is a branch in the way, right? So you hit your target once, and it'll range. Hit it twice, and those are all designated to what you sighted in. So you got 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So SR1 is your first shot. SR1 is your 35-yard shot. No big deal. And it was right on the money. I had another additional rangefinder with me to double check. Right on the money. Hit the first time, came back, hit the SR2 button, right about 50 yards. That hit good too. And we're all done. And it's saved. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this camera down here and put it on the target right now, and I'm gonna shoot about from 40 yards. And I'm just gonna click the button. So once it's all set up and you've saved it, just click that button, and the range should be right on. So here's what happens. So I was about 29, 30 yards. This pin's always here at 20. Hit the button on the front of my sight, and it lit up this pin, which is 29 yards. Super easy to set up, as you saw. I mean, it took me 20 minutes, maybe half hour to get this thing all put together. This is my hunting bow, so I will be hunting with this year. And we're all set. And make sure you check out burrisoptics.com and get yourself one and give it a shot. It's good. It's a good piece of equipment. Makes everything so much easier. You don't have to worry about range, especially if you film your videos and self-film most of the time like us. That's the number one thing is, how do I run the camera? How do I range? Blah 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 blah. One button. And the great thing about this is that you don't have to worry about it. There's always that 20-yard pin. If say the battery was to die for some reason, you always have a shot. So you're not at the mercy of something that's holographic. You got something that's always there. And that's what really made me take a look at this sight, and I'm glad we got to play with it. And check them out, Burris Optics.